about to get sweaty. Last night really was the cherry on the cake. Been some dark days lately and I'm finding it crippling. Excuse my state, I'm fragile. Hopes that you make it to my bed. Get me hot and sizzling. Take a step back to see the glass half full. At least.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to DiSanto Stadium on the campus of Case Western Reserve University here in the 216 of Cleveland, Ohio for tonight's NPSL contest between the visitors from Auburn Hills, Michigan, FC Carpathia, and your Cleveland FC. Ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce the visitors first. Carpathia FC, starting with number 9, Zane Akil. Number 14, Alexander Demereau. Number 8, Mohammed Hamad. Number 2, Ellis Jones. Number 1, Finn Jurek. Number 7, Marco Mazie. Number 3, Luke Morrell. Number 5, Joshua Rubin. Number 13, Reese Still. Number 10, Matthew Vantney. And number 11, Ryan Williams. FC Carpathia is coached by Chris Kelly, Franco DiGiorio, and Brian Tinian. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get out of your seat and make some noise for your Cleveland FC. In goal number 1, Pedro Elvis. Number 17, Chris Brennan. Your captain, number 2, Boban Chachar. Number 25, Parker Cesar. Number 16, Chris Suleco. Number 15, Carter Hancock. Number 23, Benjamin Hersko. Number 5, Julian Pellegrini. Number 8, Marcus Pereira. Number 20, Alexandru Romlinski. Number 18, Daniel Tregensen. Your Cleveland FC is coached by Vlad Urasan, assisted by Reed Ayers, Colin Fabian, Marco Gavizovich, and Joe Jovanovski. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you if you could please stand. It's time for the national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner.
Live from DiSanto Field on the campus of Case Western Reserve University, NPSL action. Cleveland SC taking on Carpathia FC. Welcome to the broadcast, everyone. My name's Gianluca DiGiacomo. Cole McDaniel joined alongside me. Cole, warm one up here in the press box, but should be some great action tonight.
Yeah, well, John Luca, pleasure to be with you here today. I don't know if it's hotter out there on the field or if it's hotter up here, but looking forward to a beautiful night here of some soccer action, and Cleveland SC going to try to get back to their winning ways here.
Of course, Carpathia and Cleveland SC have met once before this season. It was a 1-0 victory to Cleveland SC. Since then, 2 straight back-to-back losses, 2-1 against the Michigan Rangers. Meanwhile, Carpathia seem to be back on the right track, back-to-back 3-0 victories against Erie Commodores as well as Akron City FC. So both of these teams looking for redemption in one way or another. Carpathia against their individual opponents tonight, while Cleveland SC just looking to get back on track.
Well, Cleveland SC has been a team that everybody else in the conference has been chasing for the last couple of years. This year, after a couple games into this regular season, Cleveland going to have to do some chasing of their own after the slide. 2 losses, 2-1 to Michigan, and the last one really stung at home at George Finney Stadium because you played 65 minutes up a man, and you weren't able to come away with even a point there. You ended up dropping all points, came away with a big 0 there on the board off of that 2-1 loss, and Michigan really took it to you, being down a man. So definitely something that is concerning for Cleveland. Need to try to get back to their winning ways, like I said, but still sitting middle of the table. Not out of the question to be able to string some matches together. Steel City FC in first with 12 points. Michigan Rangers with 9 points in second. Carpathia in third with 6. Cleveland, if they can get the win here, can match Carpathia with 6 points. They have 3 right now. Columbus has 3, Akron has 3, and Erie sits at the bottom with 0.
Of course, tonight's victory is going to start with this lineup. Looks like a good one. Some pretty solid talent being strung together by head coach Vlad Mursin. So, in goal, Pedro Alves, the Brazilian, Rumianski and Chanchar. At the center backs, Hrisco and Sveko join them as the fullbacks. In the midfield, it's the trio of Treganson, Marcos Vinicius Pereira, as well as, Chris Brennan. And the front 3, Pellegrini and Hancock on the wings. And the sole striker tonight, the Cleveland State University guy, it is Parker Cesar. Official's going to blow his whistle. And we are underway from DiSanto Field. Cleveland SC and Carpathia FC. Chanchar will play it over to Alves. Of course, those colors now kind of impeding our vision up here in the press box.
Yeah, and part of it is when we're at George Finney Stadium or some other places, you have the visiting stands where you get the Six City Syndicate, the Cleveland supporters get to go over to the other side to watch the match and send the smoke bombs off from the other side. Here at Case Western, of course, beautiful facility, but at the same time, only the one set of stands here on the near side, so expect some smoke bombs here tonight, and you might see that make its way up to the camera in front of you, of course. Might impede our vision for about 5-10 seconds, but a little bit of a breeze blowing that out of the stadium here quickly.
Back into it here. Cleveland Force just coaxing the ball. Cleveland SC still in a USL 2 mode goal, but Cleveland SC just coaxing the ball around the back here. Kind of a medium block going from Carpathia FC, not taking any chances, just letting Cleveland Force ping it around for a minute. That one intercepted by Ryan Williams. Ball played, trying to get it behind the defense to Zane Akil, but quickly broken up.
Well, and have to mention for the listeners out there who don't know, you're very familiar with calling games here at DiSanto Field. Of course, almost like the veteran here of everybody calling games at this location because, like you mentioned, calling for Cleveland Force.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was kind of interesting, being the new guy on board, having to kind of direct everyone around. But yeah, fortunately, we got everything done, and despite the cruel temperatures in the press box, we're making it work.
Well, if sun's starting to go down a little bit. Second half's going to be much better for us. But I can tell you what, I probably should have brought some sunscreen because I feel like I'm going to end up with a sunburn from this first 45 minutes here, John Luca.
Yeah, quite toasty, especially with the sun draining right in front of the camera and in front of us, as Cleveland SC just continuing to move the ball around the back. Of course, Vlad Mursin really does love to push just timing, composure, and guys like Rumliansky and Chanchar, too, very experienced players in their own right. Chanchar graduating from John Carroll University not too long ago. And Rumlianski had a lot of experience in Italy, won the national championship at the U19 level with Beretto. As Chris Brennan will send this one into the area, it's headed up, brought down by Cesar into a pocket of space. And it's almost cleared away, blocked by Brennan though. Pereira sent out wide. Sveko playing it quickly with Julian Pellegrini, the Cleveland State University player, circumnavigates a man, but intercepted in the center, and Carpathia now trying to build out from their own defensive third.
We'll have to mention Cleveland SC, they want to work that ball around, but last game, especially when they went down to Michigan, you saw that the defense of Michigan, they were fine not playing it where you're going to catch them offsides, catch Cleveland SC offsides. They really didn't allow for any runs in behind them. All the space was, there was about a 20-yard stretch in front of the defense, and Cleveland kept trying to go vertical. Again, getting that ball down to feet, finding that open space and working it through, rather than trying to go over the top or play straight vertical balls through, would have worked a whole lot better. Certainly there's some familiar faces from last week in this lineup, but there's also some new, fresh faces. Cleveland, if they can get that ball on the floor, work it around, that's going to be crucial for them tonight.
In the meantime, Harisco earned himself a free kick. Few passes passing. Hancock now fouling. Carpathia seem to be defending in a bit of a 4-1-4-1 here. One midfielder dropping below the rest just to fill that void between the initial midfield line and the defense. As Carpathia's lineup didn't get an exact formation, but based on the NPSL website, a 4-4-2. Finn Jorak will start in goal. Jones, Morel, Rubin, and Still in the back. Vatney, Hamoud, Matzia in the midfield, as well as Akil. And Williams and Demoro will be up top. Demoro and Hamoud have combined for 4 goals, 2 from each of them so far this season, as Jorak, good awareness to be off of his line and clear it, but still in a dangerous position here for Cleveland SC to work with. A lot of physical play to kick tonight's match off. Out left for Harisco. Now into the center, Pereira. One of the few imports on this team, playing at Notre Dame College. Native of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Treganson scanning his parameters, floating one over the top, looked promising, but Hancock just not able to track that one down in time. Jorak makes the stop.
Well, despite the loss to Michigan in the last matchup, Cleveland scored their opening goal, the lone goal for them in the last matchup at George Finney Stadium. Won that. Actually, that goal was in the 7th minute, and we're getting close to that point. We'll see if they can attack and get one on the board early and strike fast against Carpathia. But Carpathia, as you mentioned already, talked about their record, what they've done in previous matches. They've only conceded 1 goal so far this season, 2 shutouts, 3-0 victories the last 2 times out. The only goal they've conceded was just the one to Cleveland. So the question is, will this be a low-scoring matchup once again?
It will be an interesting one. Actually, Cleveland SC seem to be building more out of a 4-4-2 tonight. Looks like they're building up with Hancock and Cesar as the 2 strikers, but nonetheless, Reese still on it here at the near side. Carpathia really crowding the right-hand side of the pitch tonight. Chopping this one through. Lovely ball there from Mohamed Hamoud. Decent looking build up here, but Cleveland SC have managed to get some guys dragged back in numbers game. Bit too much to handle mentally, and foul called against Cesar. Some dramatics from Vatney, but still a foul nonetheless.
Yeah, easy call there for the official. Got a good look at that one. It was directly across in his line of vision. Cesar there was trying to beat his man down the line and really didn't have anywhere to go, and just a little grab, tug at the back of the shorts, bottom part of the jersey, and of course, like you mentioned, the theatrics, but a foul nonetheless. And gonna have to pay attention to Cesar here on the wing. Try to cut back, find a teammate, need some support, because it's gonna be hard to try to get up and down that line and beat your defender there, especially when you don't have anybody cutting in front, play a ball down that line.
Lofted ball down here. Reese still joining the attack from that back line. Linking up with a teammate in the center. Now cutting across the 18. And Pereira will break it up. Great tracking back there from Pereira. Just such a great box-to-box midfielder on this Cleveland SC side. Now it's with Chanchar. A little bit of space to work with coming from the back.
Well, still made his way all the way up from the defense, and sometimes when you see those defenders make their way up, they're a little more reluctant to shoot than some of those attackers. If it was somebody other than Still, they might have fired early, but Still tried to take a couple extra touches, and well cut out by Pereira. And now on the other end, Cleveland winning that free kick and an opportunity to deliver this ball into the box.
Yeah, but nothing ill intention there, just timed that tackle poorly in a big collision with Parker Cesar. Actually, I have the pleasure of calling games for his brother Gavin on Cleveland Force. He's had a really great season. And Parker Cesar going to try to rip one from a long way out, but it's blocked. Cleveland SC picking up the scraps, though. Sveko trying to get that one down. That one blocked by, I believe that was Mohamed Hamoud. Throw in now in the center. What Cleveland SC can do. Yes, Carpathia dragging 3 midfielders back in this ordeal. Pereira playing Harisco, and he's called offsides by the linesman on the far side.
Yeah, Harisco, the left back, making his way up. I mean, you're here on the near side. You can see all the way across. That's a spot where you should, especially when you're facing that direction, you should really never be offsides, because you should be able to look across that line and know exactly where you are. It'd be different if his back was to all the defenders, but again, can't be offsides there. But that's something to watch out for. Carpathia, they're playing a very flat back line defensively when they drop in. So again, you're going to have to really time up those runs.
Yeah, and hope, maybe make some movement on the front-hand side of your ship here and see if you can catch one slightly push back compared to the others and see how it goes. But chance here for Cleveland SC. Pereira trying to play it over the top. Hancock not picking up what Pereira put down, and that one will go straight to the feet of Finn Yurak.
Yeah, Pereira's got to get his head up there. Chris Brennan was wide open there in the middle. If he could have found and slotted it through to him, Brennan could have taken it ahead and really forced the last defender to commit, have to choose whether to take the player outside or step to Brennan. Again, there was another player to the outside. That's just one of those things where got a little too over antsy, tried to play it through when Brennan found that space right in the middle.
Cleveland SC now just moving it around the back once again, now into the hands of Italian Hrumliansky. Played at Notre Dame College and finished up his collegiate career right here at Case Western, so definitely a sense of familiarity tonight for him to see DiSanto Field again. Ball's flicked forward, and excellent defensive work there from Luke Morel just to obstruct Pellegrini from getting onto that one and possibly causing some havoc in the 18. Ball in the middle. Falls to Demereau. Now laying it off to the left-hand side. Carpathia trying to load up the respective side of the ball. Definitely don't seem that they'll be switching the sides of the field anytime soon, but things still working well. Dispossessing Akil, but still with possession of the visitors. Harisco will break that pass out, though. Brennan couldn't get to that one. It was flipped forward. Brennan giving up on that press. Good cut from Morel. It's one thing you need to have as a defender, especially in today's day and age. There's more pressing than ever, Cole, and you've got to be able to remain composed when there's guys running at you full speed. Yeah, and I think certainly some of these guys get adjusted to the game, whether it's at the pro level, the semi-pro level, collegiately. We can go down all the list of levels. I think these center backs know that more and more, and as they come up in their development, these center backs know that, hey, it's not just about my size, my heading ability, my tackling. I got to be able to control the ball and have a good touch as well. That's not just for the midfielders, the forwards, those guys. So you're seeing some of that improvement there, and you're seeing some of the cleverness on the ball. Really at every level.
And that is necessary, especially as you mentioned, as teams begin to press higher and higher up the field.
And some nice link-up play there from Carpathia in the near side corner, but nothing comes of it. Just a poor run, and they're caught off sides as now straight through the middle. Parker Cesar with it. Native of Medina, played at Cleveland State and managing to get some experience overseas in Poland as well. So definitely is well-versed, especially on the attacking side of things. It's just such a phenomenal player at Medina High School. Of course, I myself called games at St. Ignatius, so he definitely terrorized that program for a good while.
Yeah, Medina has a very solid program down there. You know, been very competitive for many years here now, so you think of them as a powerhouse in Northeast Ohio in high school soccer.
Lovely move by Harisco, creating some space, trying to play a ball directly to Cesar, but will take a knock off of a Carpathia defender, and they will start from square one. This one's with Marco Mazzia. It's played out wide, still on it again. Force definitely, Cleveland SC definitely a little bit more lenient on their force of press tonight. Just letting the ball come to them, and seems to be working thus far.
Yeah, if you're going to have a bad pass back to your goalkeeper, at least you put it outside of the frame. So not too concerning there for Urak, but still had to run that one down.
Pellegrini linking up with Brennan in the center of the pitch. Cleveland SC slowly building, methodically, trying to place those passes and time those runs to perfection. Cesar's pass, though, intercepted on the far side. I believe by Ellis Jones, and Carpathia maybe off to the races on an attack of their own. Laying it off. Demeraux cutting inside. Chanchar, though.
Well, Chanchar did a great job recovering, but Pereira was hobbling. That was part of why he couldn't keep up with his guy. Still hobbling around here right now. Hope he's okay. Might have taken a knock on the foot or the ankle a moment ago.
Still playing it into the center. Vatney jousted off the ball nicely by Cleveland SC. Played right back into the area, though. Trying to flick that one on. Looks like it had gone off the arm of believe, yeah, that's Carter Hancock, but definitely in a natural state of position, so Cleveland SC will have their throw, but...
Yeah, and here is Pereira now going down. Again, was hobbling for quite a bit. And now that he's gone down, I think we're going to get a substitution here, a very early substitution going into the 16th minute.
And this will unfortunately throw off head coach Vladimirson's game plan early on here.
You know, thought initially the way he was hobbling might have been a foot or an ankle issue, but very well could be a groin or a hammy as well, as he was down. Looked like he was kind of grabbing in that direction. So certainly if it is a muscle injury, smart to take off Pereira, let him rest up, try to heal up. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, but yeah, definitely early for Cleveland to have to go to the bench.
So he will step off. Just
Ladies and gentlemen, Cleveland substitution, number 4, Keegan Dawson.
Keegan Dawson stepping on, another guy native of this Northeast Ohio region. Played at Avon, now at St. Bonaventure. Was an absolutely brilliant player in high school. Avon team's been a pretty solid, was a pretty solid dynasty for quite some time, and he played a big part in that. Getting involved early, intercepting that pass. Zveko on it. Sent out wide, Pellegrini. Zveko lets it go. Chanchar will let it go as well. Back to Pedro Alves. Rumlianski. Cleveland SC just seemed to be kind of toying with Zane Akil, the sole guy on that press as they try to switch the field. Brought down nicely by Brennan. Hancock makes that run to Cesar. Into the middle now. Treganson plays Pellegrini out wide. Trying to find Cesar. Cesar winning it back. Pellegrini trying to voyage his way to that semicircle at the top of the 18, but dispossessed. Potential counterattack on the move. Vatney in a pretty solid run on his own, but brought down. Just a tactical foul there, nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, the Cleveland supporter's not too happy with that call, but that one was obvious. Brennan was tugging at number 10 Vatney for a good 15, 20 yards, and finally just slowed him down enough, and Vatney went down, and now Carpathia, who haven't had much possession the last couple minutes, good opportunity here.
Played back, Akil on it in the area. It's intercepted though. Yeah, going off that, another home body on this Case Western turf. Vatney was actually also a student here at Case Western, as an attack may have been on. Official realized he wasn't getting to that, and he'll play the foul back off that advantage. Quick thinking there from the head official, Stephen Milhone. So Brennan will switch the field quickly. Harisko with a little bit of space to work with. Carpathia, though, blocking up a lot of the passing circuits in the middle. Creating those passing lanes at another big part of Vladimirsson's game. You just got to move for each other, and everybody kind of needs to know where the other one's going to be next. Just play 2 steps ahead mentally. It's really what it's all about. But the way that Carpathia are setting up this midfield, Cole, it's definitely tough to find yourself with any sort of space.
Yeah, it's tough. I do think Chris Brennan could be the key to unlock this. At times he's drifting back to get on the ball, but then when he goes forward, see that Carpathia loses him at times. They're holding midfielder Marco Mazzi. He sometimes loses track of Brennan, and Brennan will slip behind him, maybe either to the right or the left. Maybe you can find him. He can turn, get upfield, maybe rip a shot from outside the 18 or feed it from there.
Lovely counterattack here. Trying to send it in. It takes a deflection, and Alves will rush to that one. Play with his feet, may just look for a hint of pressure just to pick it up, and he will. Just 20 minutes passed so far. Relatively uneventful in terms of shots and attacking prowess, but overall kind of a chess battle in the center of the pitch tonight.
Yeah, both teams still feeling each other out here at the moment. I think both are settling in quite a bit here. But at the same time, you're right. Haven't really been shots on goal either way. Everything's been really in the middle of the field.
Hancock wins it, trying to play it in, and just getting a foot on it. Carpathia FC. War of attrition in the box for possession, and Hancock will get a bit too handsy on Marco Mazze in the middle. And that one, unfortunately, squandering the desirable field position that Cleveland SC had built up for themselves. But you do like to see that ambition. Really nicely timed run on the left as well to try and get something going, but that pass into the center just barely broken up.
Yeah, I like the thought from Hancock to slot that one back across, but honestly, you were given the left. I know you're a right-footed player. Take it to the left, and then rather than playing a square ball, playing it back across the 6 where it's coming backwards is going to make it tougher on that defense. So again, probably just played a little too soon there rather than try to beat his man down the line.
Demeraux getting a bit too ahead of himself, playing that one into loads of defensive traffic, and Cleveland SC will win possession back here, looking to create something here as Carpathia are slowly starting to move more men forward on a bit of a press here. Hancock trying to bring it down. Had a solid resume this past season, leading the OAC in assists for the University of Mount Union with 11.
Cleveland SC free kick.
Bumlianski will play this one quickly across to, I believe that's Sveko. Ganson looking to switch the field with a lofted ball. Brought down nicely, but headed straight to Harisko. Cutting inside. Sveko out wide. Brennan swinging it in over and across. Just a little bit too far in front for Cleveland SC to handle, and it'll be out for a goal kick. But again, you like the ambition and fairly solid build-up from the home team tonight.
Well, first of all, that was all beginning because of what Hershko did, and he saw his defender was backpedaling, headed that. He knew there wouldn't be much distance, and he read that one well, knew it was going to be coming in his direction, brought that one down, and by the time the ball made it all the way out to Chris Brennan, who drifted out to the right, played a nice ball in just a little bit too deep. There was no back post runner as soon as it got past the runner there in the middle, but that was one of the best opportunities so far from Cleveland when they haven't had many opportunities in the box yet.
Carpathia continuing to build from the back here. And both teams not really with a sense of urgency to score goals here this first half as we're approaching around minute 24. Switching in towards the center. Risco wins it. And trying to bring it down. And he could have had an outlet pass straight to Pellegrini, but just enough interference from the visitors to avoid that. Demero with a nice touch. Pass Rumianski. It'll be a foot race here. Demero entering the 18, squaring it across. Akil with it. Back turn to goal. Played back to Williams. He'll fire a shot, and that one will trickle wide left. Good recovery defense from Cleveland SC.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit optimistic. There were a lot of white jerseys there in front of Williams. Had a runner coming up from left back out on the far side. Maybe should have slotted that one through. And then crashed in, so there were some blue jerseys there in the box. But instead, that shot, at least a look there, but didn't do much to test Alves, and Carpathia going to have to do a lot better than that to start getting some things on frame and test the goalkeeper.
Yeah, that one simply just to keep him on his toes, make sure he's awake, but on the other hand, just a poor touch chested down. Carpathia will gain possession back just about at that midfield line. Ball thrown in by Still, home of Little Canfield, England, at Lawrence Tech, where he played collegiate ball in the States. And taking it down the line, trying to square it in again, but Rumianski promptly denies that one. Carpathia given a corner for their efforts.
Demero's a lanky player. Those long legs certainly can take some decently long strides and a couple steps, able to just be beyond Hershko to try to deliver in a cross. And now maybe a good opportunity here for Carpathia to push up the big bodies from the defense, as they certainly seem to have the size advantage in the box right now.
Be Marco Matze on this one. Currently going to be a rising sophomore at Oakland. Dearborn, Michigan native. Looking to serve this one into the area. Headers one, but no real menace on that one. Just off the wrong part of the head, and that one floating easily over. A minimum of fuss.
Difficult for Alexander Demero, who was the guy starting off his run at the near post, as that one was delivered in just a little bit outside of the 6, about halfway in between the 6 and the penalty spot. So as he was running back to it, had to try to turn his head around and redirect that ball. It's going to be hard to get any power when you're running the opposite direction.
Ball's brought down. Pellegrini feeds it back to Harisco. Cesar looking to switch the field, but not nearly enough power on that one to get it to its destination. Header in the air, and yeah, just a cheeky shove from behind, clear as day. As Hamoud will pick up that foul.
Yeah, definitely obvious there. The arms were fully extended, and I think if this was a different kind of football, that would be a 15-yard penalty for pass interference.
Cesar playing it in the center. Brennan back to Cesar on the edge of the 18. Crossing it in at the back post. Ooh, and that's a tough one. Cleveland SC have the corner. Really tough one.
Yeah, that call's interesting there, because I think that Carpathia is arguing that ball already drifted over the touchline there and was already out of play, and then the touch happened afterwards. Officials really had a difficult time, I think, telling exactly where that ball was, and Cleveland gets benefit of the doubt, so an opportunity where you're gifted something to try to capitalize.
Cleveland SC bunching trio of men at the penalty spot. It's brought down. Treganson tries a shot. That one straight into the gut of Matthew Vatney.
Yeah, and it sat up well for Treganson there. The only problem is defender was closing in. Defender thought that was going to be a shot the whole way. You could easily cut that one back onto your other foot, take a touch, and you probably had the defender jumping in the air. maybe give you a little bit more space to fire there. But again, Cleveland showing a little bit more attacking prowess here the last couple minutes.
Demereau, lovely tackle, and ball flick through, and whoa, pretty close to hitting a press box window, that clearance.
Our guy Sean down there on the PA saw that one coming right at him a couple feet higher, and that's smacking the glass in front of him. So again, shout out to Sean down there on the PA.
Carpathia taking this one around. Hamoud maintaining possession, but straight back to Cleveland SC. Spoke too soon myself as Pellegrini laying it through, and Cleveland SC may need a few more men for this one to be convincing. Parker Cesar slowing things down. Plays it back to Treganson, and now Chenchar.
Just need somebody to check into that middle spot right now. There's almost like a diamond in the middle. Just blue jerseys, like I said, almost in that diamond. Need somebody to check in, and finally getting a midfielder to hop in that spot. Chris Brennan comes back to fill in.
That touch off the boot of Cesar like a trampoline straight to Carpathia here. Pulling up some nice link-up play on the near side. Lovely ball over the top. Akil will bring this one down. Sticks with it. Now, two white kits in pursuit, and Hrisco will stop anything untoward from happening as the clearance now falling to Pellegrini. Take it back a few touches. And switching the field nicely now for, I believe that's Keegan Dawson. Now out wide right, trying to find Sveko. Tough one, just not enough power, but Cleveland SC come by unscathed, fortunately. Chopped over top and into no man's land, if you will.
Yeah, a bit of a hospital ball on the other end there from Keegan Dawson. Played it really lightly to Chris Sveko, but Sveko dealt with it well. Cleveland squandering possession, sending it all the way down the field, but dangerous there if Sveko loses it and isn't able to get a hold of that ball in the defensive third. Again, I know you like to play it around with your feet, but you got to make sure you're safely and securely getting out of your final third. Can't give up a silly turnover back there and then it result in 1-0 Carpathia.
Yeah, I think wheels are finally starting to turn as Carpathia are slowly pushing more and more guys up now, almost in a 4-2-3-1 with that three-man midfield line kind of slowly pushing up more and more as this game progresses.
Fortunate bounce there from Matthew Vatney. It sat up for him well. Then he tried to deliver that cross through the box there with the left boot, and now a corner upcoming. The deflection catching Chanchar, and now the bodies come forward again, and in-swinger coming up.
This is Schoolcraft's Hamoud on the corner. Let's see what they can do with this one. Swinging it in towards the back post over the head of the masses. Cleveland SC keeping this one in, but unfortunately, almost gifting possession right back to their opponents. Trying to square it across was Vatney, but intercepted. Treganson, and a tackle. Won the ball, but I think it was the position from where he started that tackle from behind, not to the officials' liking, Cole.
Yeah, no, I think that one's tight there. Ryan Williams, yeah, he started that slide from behind, but he did really try to wrap those legs around, and it looked like he got his legs around and caught the ball. Maybe his knee just grazed the back of the leg of Treganson. The official was close there. Going to give the official the benefit of the doubt, but from up here, it certainly looked like it was close to a good challenge.
Yeah, really tough one to make. Tough call to make, but in transition like that, you have to make up your mind in a split second as Dawson chopping this one over to Captain Chanchar. Progressing forward, playing it in towards the center. Brennan out wide left to Rumliansky. Playing it over the top, Cesar getting there, flicking it over the keeper, but a little too much on the initial touch, and it'll be a goal kick. But again, Cesar gathering himself quite nicely considering Yurda coming at him at full speed, but that touch just off the wrong side of the foot.
Yeah, I think he was almost in between decisions there, and it's why you didn't really see him get too much power. I know he was trying to flick that one on, but saw the goalkeeper coming at him full speed, and I think Cesar was in between deciding whether he wanted to drag it across and try to go around the keeper, or if he wanted to flick that one over the top, and in between decisions didn't pan out.
Hancock sending this one in, beats his man. Pellegrini tries a volley, couldn't get his body behind it enough. Again, you like the ambition, a cracking goal that would have been, but now Carpathia trying to get an attack of their own going. A lot more sense of urgency as we're in minute 33, still scoreless on the campus of Case Western Reserve University.
Well, a little bit of a smile there from Pellegrini, maybe not the prettiest volley attempt there. Didn't get a really good swing into it, almost kind of hopped up and had to almost have a little bit of a karate kick at it, but got a little touch. It went on frame, just a slow bouncer there to the goalkeeper, able to deal with that one easily. But two good chances for Cleveland, the best two chances of the evening so far, coming in the matter of a minute and a half of play.
Oh, and Cesar, it's just not a good, I mean, that's an instant yellow.
Silly yellow.
Yeah, interfering
Needless.
with a free kick like that. And now he's going to be walking on stilts for the rest of the evening. When you're on a yellow, there's some tackles you can't make and some things you can't do. And with a foul like that, I mean, you got to be questioning what's going on. Just maybe a little bit of pent-up frustration.
Yeah, but it's only 0-0. You know, here in the first half. I understand if there's a lot of physicality and a lot going on later on, but I don't think there's too much to be too frustrated about.
That one sent in. Akil might get the better of that one. Almost tapped in. Goal line clearance from Rumliansky. Very scary looking. And Cleveland SC don't have much time to breathe here. Carpathia building it up. Still on the right-hand side. Sending in a whirling cross. Falls to Sveko.
Oh.
Another miscommunication. Falls to Akil. What a save by Alves. But you have to say, some negligence from Cleveland SC there. An easily avoidable situation, Cole.
Well, Rumliansky did a great job getting his heel to that one, saving it. Chris Sveko did a good job on the floor of poking that one away. But again, then Pedro Alves makes a great save at the end, and that's exciting. But the problem is, that's all on Cleveland. Just mistake after mistake there in the box. Those chances shouldn't have really happened. They got away with it, still 0-0. Again, they're going to be fortunate then if Carpathia, again, don't capitalize here on this corner following.
Now the Matze on this corner. See what they can do. Do have a decent amount of height. Crushing into this one. It's played by the 6-yard box, floating over the heads of many. Now Ruben on it. Flicking it up into the air. Falls to the center back, and the shot is in! Ryan Williams on the tap in at the back post, and it's 1-0 Carpathia. Just a cluster of a situation. And Cleveland SC not able to evade the danger. And that's going to be costly here in minute 36.
Well, sometimes this sport, the sport of soccer, certainly, serves justice as due for a team that is deserving of a goal. Then sometimes right after, again, it happens after they should have just scored it. Carpathia should have scored a goal. Rumliansky, again, did a great job saving one just up against the line. Pedro Alves had to make an excellent diving save, and then finally on that corner, Cleveland couldn't escape, and now they find themselves down 1-0. Pretty easy finish there for Williams at the back door. He just to get it just past two white jerseys and able to do so and hammer that one home.
And that makes it 1-0 to Carpathia here. Cleveland Forest going to have to think quickly here. Or excuse me, Cleveland SC again.
Yeah, right.
Just in that mode, I sit here at DiSanto Field press box soccer game.
It's such a busy man and calling for multiple teams here.
But nonetheless, Cleveland SC, you're going to have to, of course, main thing, keep your calm. When you create and craft a game plan against a team, something goes wrong, and a sloppy goal at that, you can't just abandon it. So keep at this and maybe make adjustments as necessary. With Harisco. Just play it short to Dawson. Lumliansky. Cleveland SC, no rush here. Definitely pushing a lot of guys up. Maybe looking for an over-the-top ball at some point in time.
Well, and that goal comes about 4 minutes after you as Cleveland had two of your best chances so far this evening. So certainly keep doing what you were doing on the attacking end just a few moments ago. See if you can try to capitalize on one of those chances. See if you can take this into the locker room at 1-1, knot this thing up. But Cleveland just hasn't found their stride yet this season. You know, this is the 4th game here of the regular season, and despite the win against Carpathia in the opening match, that was a 1-0 close matchup, and then the 2 losses after, just haven't quite found that groove. And if they can find that here before too long, again, that could really change the tides for this season. But we'll see if they can do it here in this first half and at least level this one out. But keep playing it around, find feet, make Carpathia push up to your defense who's pushing it around. See if you can draw that back line up and then slot one through.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be best case scenario to find an equalizer before the end of the first half, have something for Carpathia FC to talk about going into the half. But I mean, so far, you know, they have the momentum meter definitely in their favor at this moment in time. But Cleveland SC certainly not out of it. I mean, it's just a few sloppy mistakes that led to a goal, but you can't let that affect your entire game plan here. Nice turn by Akil, playing it over to his right. Vatney trying to chase this one down. He gets to it. Enforcement's coming for the blue. That cross way over the heads of everybody involved. Great hustle there on the far side by Hamoud to keep that one alive. And Carpathia now on the far side. A few passes back and forth from Demereau, and who I believe is Ellis Jones on that far side. Brought down by Hamoud. Keegan Dawson, though, stomping his foot down and winning it back. Cesar couldn't get to that one. Again, very nice build up here from Carpathia. Played back to Vatney. Harisco breaks it up. Now out wide with the Englishman. Reese Still sends it in. Flicked on by Akil. Back to the top of the 18, but Treganson taking care of the ball. Carpathia kind of pinning Cleveland SC's back line as that clearance straight back to them. You know, it has been pretty even on the offensive side, but in terms of tempo, Carpathia really just controlled the speed of this game almost through and through throughout these first 40 minutes, Cole.
Yeah, they managed to slow it down. And if you're Cleveland and you're trying to go at a bit of a faster pace than what Carpathia is doing, it's right as soon as you win that ball in the defense, you need to try to get out and transition quickly. And we're not seeing Cleveland get up the field, you know, find feet, find that outlet, and then get out while those blue jerseys are pushed forward. Once you pass the ball around and let them settle in, Carpathia just content with letting you have all the possession in the world as they sit in defensively, and you can't really break through that back line. So something's going to have to change where Cleveland can find their own tempo, because Carpathia, they have managed to slow Cleveland down when they're on the ball, and then when Carpathia has it, they're content taking their good old time right now.
Official will let that one go. Many thinking of a potential foul call. Nonetheless, Cleveland SC again moving it around the back line. Risco, no pressure coming in from the men in blue. That very flat back four, almost in kind of a Christmas tree formation, if you will, 4-3-2-1. On the defensive side of things here, but very, very flat, very positionally sound right now. Sticking to whatever zones they may try to be covering, and seems to be working. No real innovation on the offensive end here from Cleveland. Dawson will try a long ball. Off to the races on the right-hand side. Flicking it over the keeper, and it's 1-1! What a response, what a ball on the right-hand side, and it is all tied up.
And that's exactly what Cleveland needed here right before the halftime break, just a couple minutes away, and the smoke bombs going off as the Cleveland supporters celebrate here. But good ball down the field, a really nice run there, and the soft touch, the flick over for Pellegrini. Calm, cool, collected on the finish. And that could be the goal that maybe turns the tide a little bit for Cleveland. Just really smart there. Perfectly timed run. Again, talked about needing to have those perfectly timed runs as Carpathia trying to catch guys offside, but credit to Pellegrini, and here we go. That definitely turned some momentum here for Cleveland at Case Western.
You could not have a more perfectly timed run, and you could not have had a more perfectly placed pass down that line. That's one thing that really makes Julian Pellegrini's game so great. Not only his versatility on the attacking side, but his speed.
Score by number 5, Julian.
Well, and that's what Cleveland wanted to do against Michigan, and you saw the ideas to do that. The problem was Michigan's back four was so deep that if you got it over the heads of the back four, the goalkeeper was coming out and collecting the ball. That's why you had to play it on the floor and needed to play it in front, and they struggled in the latter stages of the match. Here against Carpathia, though, their back line might be flat, but if you time up your run, there is space in between, and you saw Pellegrini find that space, took advantage of it, and that's more of how Cleveland wants to play. They like to get some of these young guys running in behind the defense, and it worked out perfectly there.
Yeah, Pellegrini, that will make it his second goal in the last 2 matches, was the sole goal scorer in that 2-1 loss at George Finney Stadium. And big collision along that corner flag. Official going to have a chat here, trying to break these two apart.
Yeah, the captain, Chanchar, not happy with it. Saveco, another one of the veterans, not happy. And yellow card comes out for the challenge there. Getting hands up in the air. Was questioning that call there, but Ryan Williams goes into the books.
Yeah, definitely just an unnecessary challenge. Poorly timed. Sure, really nothing ill intended, but you've got to time those tackles better because very high risk, high reward. I mean, if you get the wrong part of your boot, you know, if you go cleat to shin, could very well be a red in some circumstances. So,
yeah, and just maybe a little bit of a softer touch there. Certainly didn't warrant a red. Smart on the yellow card. But no, absolutely something you have to pay attention to and watch out for.
Pellegrini turning on the burners, trying to send it in to Parker Cesar in the center of the box, but one's gobbled up by Urak.
Well, and that's always something to think about, though. Once, and I said this last week, I say this all the time, but once a card comes out, that sets the tone of the match. Expect that the ref is going to now go to the book more often. You know, maybe a challenge that if it was the first one, there wasn't a card yet, might let it go, but once he's gone to the book, it sets the tone of the game because he can't really revert back. So again, good officiating, certainly a challenge in the corner that warranted the yellow, but that is something to pay attention to. You have to be out there playing physical, you have to be tough out there on the field, but also you have to avoid stupid challenges or stupid nonsense that lands you in the books, and you have to walk a thin line, walk the tightrope in the second half.
Trying to play that one up to Cesar. Defended nicely, though, by Still. Keel playing a ball down the line, and Williams is called offsides. Not timing that one as well as he had hoped. And Cleveland SC may have one final haul towards goal. But again, very ideal situation to tie this one up before the half. Get Carpathia thinking.
You know, offsides at times can be tough because it can be a bang-bang play, but at the same time, when you play a match on a field that has the football hashes, makes the job of the linesman a whole lot easier. So again, good call there on the offsides, again, able to see right across that line.
Long ball, Cleveland SC on the attack. It's Harisco on the near side. Treganson into the center. Dawson will play it back, trying to ease the pressure.
Have to switch the play right now. Loaded up at the back post for Cleveland.
Lovely turn by Cesar. Tripped up after the fact, and that deflection will have another throw in here for Cleveland.
Carter Hancock has acres of space there at the back door right now.
It's just a matter of if they can get it to him. Long throw, headed up by Vatney Treganson, bringing it down, trying to get possession. Excellently defended, though, and the official will blow his whistle for the end of the first half. It is 1-all here at DiSanto Field. Cole, I mean, overall, just your thoughts.
Well, I think we talked about earlier where probably about the first 25 to 30 minutes, both teams were just settling in, feeling each other out, taking their time. There weren't really any chances on goal. Didn't see many shots. Started going to the box. Cleveland had a few good chances, and then really a disaster there defensively. Miscommunication issues. Fortunate to really make some good saves back there as Alves came up big as that goal was gaping and wide open. But then Carpathia, again, they got the justice they deserved. They probably should have scored right before, but they score on the corner, go up. But Cleveland responded well. Again, that beautiful long ball down the field to Pellegrini, was able to loft that one up and over Urak, the goalkeeper. Calm, cool, collected finish. And now that's where we stand at 1-1 and a little bit more momentum going back the way of Cleveland. But again, still trying to find their footing here, still in the earlier stages of the regular season. Getting a win here at Case Western would be huge for Cleveland. We'll see what they can do in the locker room, what they draw up coming out in the second half.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with you. Cleveland SC picking things up big time after that first goal. Maybe just the swift kick they needed. And I hate to say, they're playing so well, but that goal completely self-inflicted, Mm-hmm. And sometimes those are the worst in terms of morale, but hopefully they can turn this one into a win. I've made the best of a pretty bad situation after a goal late in the first half from Ryan Williams. But Julian Pellegrini, the Cleveland State University player, comes up big right before the half. And I think what these coaches are going to have to say, and just this time for these teams to spend with each other, it's going to play a big factor to what we see in the second half in terms of they're going to come out more aggressive. Is it going to be more of a time to calm down? It's going to be a huge battle for control in both a mental and physical time here in the next 15 minutes or so that these two teams spend in the locker room.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll step aside as they go to the locker room here right now. Of course, as you're watching and listening to the Cleveland SC broadcast here on 11, as well as the FIFA Plus app. We'll be back here in a little less than 15 minutes.
From the very start, Hardwood Lumber Company doesn't cut corners. Our professional craftsmen custom make every product to your specifications. Hardwood Lumber Company is the clear choice for high quality countertops, stair parts, and cutting boards. From the very start, Hardwood Lumber Company doesn't cut corners. Our professional craftsmen custom make every product to your specifications. Hardwood Lumber Company is the clear choice for high quality countertops, stair parts, and cutting boards. From the very start, Hardwood Lumber Company doesn't cut corners. Our professional craftsmen custom make every product to your specifications. Hardwood Lumber Company is the clear choice for high-quality countertops, stair parts, and cutting boards.
Your Cleveland SC for the second half kickoff.
And we're back to DiSanto Field on the campus of Case Western Reserve University. A very back-ended first half of action, but nonetheless, the results of that lead us at 1-1. Cleveland SC versus Carpathia FC. John Luca DiGiacomo and Cole McDaniel on the call. Cole, before we really get into the action here, what do you think the keys are for Cleveland SC to come away with a win tonight? With that half, hopefully their morale's boosted and they're more rested and energized, ready to go.
Well, first of all, I have to say that I'm relieved that the sun is setting. We're starting to feel a little bit of a breeze in here. Didn't feel any air movement earlier, so going to be much happier, more comfortable here in the second half. But have to say, if anybody else is relieved, it's Cleveland's relieved that they got a goal to knot this one up at 1-1 just a couple minutes before the halftime break. Now, sometimes those first couple minutes coming out of a half, or at the start of the match, or even after a goal is given up, a lot of times that's when you sometimes see a team switch off and they don't come out with the same intensity. If you're Cleveland, you got to ride the little bit of momentum you had going in the last 4 or 5 minutes of that into that first half. Get possession of the ball, get on the floor, get up the field, push the pace a little bit, see if you can take the goal that puts you up ahead, breaks the deadlock here. That would be huge for Cleveland in the second half. I think if you're the team that strikes first here in the second half, I think that's the big key.
Absolutely. But yeah, talking with basically any soccer coach I've ever met, the first 5 minutes of any half is extremely important as Cleveland SC on the attack. Hancock playing it back to Brennan. At the edge of the 18, Cleveland SC maybe on goal early on, or so I thought. That pass into the middle intercepted. And now Carpathia will look for their first chance of the second half, trying to play that ball outside of the foot. Chanchar gets a foot on it and clears it out. But yeah, like I was saying, this may be the most important part of the game, coming out of a half where both teams pretty high tension, hungry for a goal. If you can catch them napping, mentally or physically, it's going to change the game a whole lot more than you might expect. That one headed out and away. Ooh, and a power shot by Hamoud, but it's blocked by Keegan Dawson. Will fall back to Hamoud. Carpathia looking to capitalize here on their first real chance of the afternoon. Fatney plays it back. Now on the far side. It's laid through for the Englishman still. Flicking it backwards. Trying to lay that one through. Oh, and this may be a lovely chance for Carpathia. Trying to square it in more towards the center, and it's cleared out by Dawson.
Yeah, I have to say on the other end, Cleveland pushed the pace. They got in behind the defense. Ball was played back to Brennan, and I've been singing Brennan's praises at times with finding space and thought he could be a key, but that time, again, he got the ball, stood on it. Need to go with some more pace. Again, just slowed that attack down too much. And now here on the other end, Cleveland finds themselves defending, and a great opportunity for Carpathia.
They up for the long throw. It's sent in. Headed up towards the penalty spot. Headed away. Cleveland SC dealing with that one very nicely. Parker Cesar going to turn and slow things down once again. Now some speed from Harisco, but dribbling straight into a blue jersey. Akil using that frame, creating some space. Matze playing the wing. Oh, trying a, I'm thinking as a cross, but far too much power and didn't get the angle. That one will fly out of bounds for a Cleveland SC goal kick.
Yeah, shanked that one, looking to put that one across the 18 and close to the 6, and on that outswinger, tried to put some pace behind it and just didn't get the hips and the shoulders turned there. But now with Cleveland, possession of the ball, I think if they can quickly find a way to switch the field, again, they've been a little slow to switch it. If they can switch it quickly from the far left side here to this near right side, that could be a key for them, because I feel like Carter Hancock has been operating with a lot of space. He did in the first half. he's continuing to operate with some space here in the second half. You just got to get it over to him quicker.
I absolutely have to agree. Hancock can definitely be a very key piece in the hopeful puzzle of a Cleveland SC victory tonight. But yeah, like you said, they've been laying off him big time. They can find one long ball over, and he has enough space when receiving it. I mean, sky's the limit for him. Like I said, led the OEC last season, one of the best conferences in all of Division III soccer, in assists with 11 for a team like Mount Union, who sometimes may lack those straight-up, finishers. But Hancock made it work alongside with a few of his other teammates. I mean, really good player, especially when given a lot of space, can be explosive and has vision like no other. So hopefully, thoughts and prayers that he can get a few more touches on his side of the pitch, as Cleveland SC will have a free kick at just about the 30-yard line or so.
Cleveland SC free kick.
Yeah, and I think if Brennan can drop this one in towards the near post, drop it in right around that PK spot and behind the defense, that could be crucial, because that would be just in between where the goalkeeper would have to make a decision whether to hold or whether to come out.
He wants to play it short, trying to square it into the middle. Flicked on. Pellegrini's shot takes a deflection. Back with Pellegrini. Another block. Dawson on the 20. Into the box. Brought down. Pellegrini again and stripped away. Lovely composure from Carpathia despite all of the anarchy going on with Cleveland SC trying to get a shot on goal. But Cleveland SC trying to collect themselves, and that pass from Brennan.
Yeah, squandered possession there, and that one out of play. But some good opportunities there. Looked like Pellegrini was going to have a good opportunity with the right boot on that shot as it sat up there on the half volley, tried to get his laces through it, took a deflection, bounced right back for him to hit that one with his left foot. But fortunate for Carpathia that they had a guy there close in the vicinity, closed in on that one, and met Pellegrini to the ball at the same exact time. So any danger averted, and we're still not up here at 1-1.
Sveko winning the header nicely. Lot of potential behind this one. Parker Cesar cutting it towards the middle, cuts back on the right, tries a shot, and a little too far out. As that one kind of dying out as it approached the keeper, and Yurdak makes the save.
Well, that one on the shot there, the right-footed look from Parker Cesar, although it was on frame, took a deflection off of the defender, number 3, Luke Morrell. That's what took a little bit of pace off of that ball, and it floated up there. Easy dive there for Yurdak. Would have to imagine that maybe it would have been tougher for him again if it didn't take that deflection, but certainly, like you said, died out there, so easy enough. But another good look, and again, Cleveland pushing the pace a little bit more. Would like to see them start firing a little bit more once they get outside the 18, and certainly like to see Parker Cesar pull the trigger as he did there.
Header one in the air. Brennan trying to bring it down, but flicking it back up to the opposition, and still,
yeah, going to the books here.
Taking a tough challenge, and yeah, I mean, I think that one's the right call there. Brennan will go into the books.
Yeah, I'm not sure if, because he was close, not sure if Chris Brennan just physically couldn't stop there, or if, again, got a little too over antsy lunging into that one, but certainly went through the back of the defender. We've seen a lot harder fouls throughout this match, and in other matches as well. But again, official had already gone to the book. Again, he's holding true to that on needless fouls, and certainly thought there was a little bit more into that for Brennan. And part of that might not be because of the physicality of the challenge, but that was probably about the third foul that Brennan's actually had here in this match, and official might have been keeping count.
Oh, and Treganson drilled from behind, and yeah, no questions asked. A yellow card for Demeraux to stop that transition, and Treganson took a really tough fall.
Yeah, I think in the first half, Ryan Williams was a little half done by on his slide that was almost perfectly timed and was able to wrap around and get in front of that ball. Just maybe slightly caught the Cleveland SC player. Here, though, completely different. That one was an easy call for the official. as Dimmerow didn't time that up well. Rumliansky took a hard fall. Hope he's okay as he landed awkwardly on the shoulder, and looks like trainer's going to come out and take a look.
It might have been a tough one on the shoulder, but nonetheless, hoping for the best here. Oh, may be the wrist, looks like, but we'll wait and see. Hopefully he's all right. Feeling out the shoulder, so fortunately we've ruled that one out, but
yeah, Mike got a little cut up there on the nose, maybe a little bit of a bloody nose too as he went down. Like I said, definitely the right shoulder. Was feeling that, trying to get that one moving a little bit. That's what he grabbed initially, was holding, and again, looks like they're trying to stop the bleeding. So it appears like Tregansen's going to be okay to continue on. Certainly see some bodies up and moving around on the bench getting warm, but I think Tregansen's just going to hop over to the sideline, and we'll see him back in here in just about a moment.
Yeah, definitely took a tough one, and another yellow in the books. Chanchar will have this free kick.
Yeah, the cards are starting to fly a little bit more here right now, and you know, we're going to probably see the physicality, the intensity pick up as these teams are level with each other right now, really fighting in the middle of the table at the moment in the Great Lakes Conference. So 3 points is important here tonight for both of these clubs.
Ball one in the air nicely by Still, and he was caught in midair. Draws a foul of his own, and Carpathia will have possession back. Matze will take this one up, playing it over to the left for Ellis Jones. Demero cutting inside, trying to play it through. Nice link up. Hamoud looks like he got caught on that tackle. That one just past Akil's, I guess, foot reach, if you will, and Cleveland SC will roll it over to the left and see what they can work with a possession of their own here.
Unfortunate for Carpathia because Akil had a lot of space right there, but I really think Akil believed that that left foot was going back for a shot, and Dimmerow might have thought about it at the last moment, decided to pass it away instead of ripping that shot, and Akil was not on his toes, not prepared. Again, if that pass was right on him and if Akil was prepared for it, would have had plenty of space to turn and fire a shot. So Cleveland gets fortunate there that it didn't pan out, and now they can try to see what they can do going the other direction with their attack here.
Alves well off his line to scoop that one up. Trying to send this one up, but it's straight into the awaiting feet of Matze. Again, a solid looking chance of that one. Way too far ahead of Demero. No chance for him to reach that one. Again, Alves properly off his line. I think that, yeah, Tregansen's going to be waved back on, fortunately.
Ladies and gentlemen, back on the field for Cleveland SC, number 20, Alexandru Rumlinski.
Carpathia going to start something here on the far side. Demero on it. Oh, Demero, lovely move to get past Hersko. Falls to Vatney, still inbound, surprisingly enough. Thought that one took a much more aggressive deflection off of Cleveland's back line. Nonetheless, just holding up play. No real rush from the visitors here. Demero trying to cut back. Rumliansky just getting involved enough. Oh, and this is a very tasty looking counterattack. Oh, and that touch just getting past Brennan. Getting away from him looked promising, but unfortunately just a miscalculation there.
Yeah, part of that's on Brennan, the poor touch, but part of that's on Cesar and the poor run. It got right in the way of Brennan there. Was going vertically and straight and immediately offside.
Demero shot saved by Akil! Or excuse me, Akil's shot saved by Alves. Again,
Alves.
Cleveland SC kind of getting a taste of their own medicine there, and with that counterattack, and Alves rightfully beside himself. I mean, wondering, just left out to dry. Unfortunately, Akil went to his left, and Alves much more prepared to make that stop. An excellent save.
So after a counter completely falls apart for Cleveland, a counter for Carpathia nearly results in a goal. A nice save diving to his left for Pedro Alves there initially, parried it to the side. Didn't look like it was going to be far enough there because it was going to sit up for Akil to strike that one, but Akil running towards that in line. Again, it just being a little outside the frame. He just shanked that one, wasn't able to play it back across, and very fortunate there.
Carpathia sending in this corner. Headed away for a brief moment in time. Great hustle there and all. The head official Milhone's going to call it for Carpathia.
Yeah, and that one he just missed. That one, defender's back, I think, was blocking what actually happened, and line judge wasn't able to help much there. Certainly last off of Carpathia off of the deflection.
Clearance out of bounds for another throw in for the men in blue. Headed forward into a pocket of space in the box, but dealt with for the time being. Carpathia right back on possession. Hamoud losing it, but it'll be out for another throw. Ellis Jones trying to send this one up. Sveko feasting on that one, but the pass not so nice.
Yeah, didn't get his head up. Almost a no-look there.
What a turn by Akil. Oh, the hezzy by Akil. Another shot saved by Alves.
Save, Pedro
Zane Akil
Alves.
up top, a clever move. That turn was tight, kept the ball close to his body, was able to steam forward, and then, as you mentioned, the hesitation cleared up enough space. Really didn't have an opportunity to shoot that one back post. Had to go near post, and Alves able to meet it and get down to it. Another save and another corner upcoming here for Carpathia.
Yeah, I mean, Akil, what makes him so scary, for as big as he is, surprisingly graceful when he has the ball at his feet. Really showcasing his skill there. Ball falls to Demero, drags it to the left. Chanchar, lovely challenge. But now with Hamoud, his shot on off the post. I think, fortunately, Alves might have had that one covered anyway, but really scary looking stuff here for Cleveland SC.
Yeah, not a save there for Pedro Alves. Again, he motioned that one off, and Alves himself waved the finger, said, I didn't touch it, not a corner. Catches off of the outside of the post. And Alves is going to have a goal kick, send this up the field here in just a moment for his team. But I think you're right. I think Alves might have had that one covered if it did creep inside of that post rather than on the outside. Your tips were there. Just a matter of if he could have stretched quickly enough to parry that one to the side.
Hancock with a head of steam, playing it out wide for Pellegrini. Pellegrini trying to cross it in. Defended well. Once again, Reese Still. He's had a lot of impact on tonight's contest for Carpathia. And again, just that pass trickling straight back to the opposition. And Carpathia are going to use this space they have behind the defense. And that shot again saved by Alves. Quickly turning into the hero for Cleveland SC tonight.
Well, talk about not being afraid of standing out of the goal frame. I mean, Pedro Alves kind of stayed up. And rather than retreating when that ball was played through, he just decided, I'm going to stay here at the top of the 18. I'm going to cut off the angle. Let's force the Carpathia FC attacker there to try to play this one over and try to lob it over me, and unable to do so.
Yeah, looks like there's a number 4 in for Carpathia FC, but didn't get a number 4 on the roster sheet, I don't believe.
Yeah, I did not see a number 4 there, but again, looks like that was number 4 who, again, tried to float that one over Alves just a moment ago on the shot.
Now over on the left-hand side, Cleveland SC playing that ball behind the defense. Oh, that is dealt with beautifully by Joshua Rubin. Beautiful first touch to bring that one down. Make sure it didn't deflect right back to the opposition. Nurum Lianski just mistiming that one. Going in a bit too aggressively with the body.
Yeah, next dead ball here, we're going to see 2 Cleveland subs get some fresh legs in, change some things up. I think it's important timing for Cleveland to do so. Just think they need a little bit of a change of pace because Carpathia, last 6-7 minutes or so, has gone the way of the visitors.
Ball placed it around the 34-yard line of Carpathia's defensive half. We'll fire this one. It's headed away, though. Easily broken up, but right back on the attack. Vatney with it. Harisco puts in a good challenge. Out for a throw. Now the official's going to wave on the two substitutes here. As I believe that's Brennan stepping off, as well as Cesar. So some fresh legs coming in up top for Vladimirson's side.
Yeah, and I think that was needed. And I think it was especially evident when Brennan and Cesar had the issues there on that counter. Possibly some of that was tired legs, a little bit of exhaustion, and probably best to get those two guys off the field and get some fresh legs out there, see what you can do. See if you can get some other guys in who have the fresh bodies and can really strike on a quick counter.
Yeah, and we'll
Ladies and gentlemen, Cleveland SC substitution.
both pace
number
and
13,
chemistry as
Logan
two
Patton,
John Carroll players
and
subbing
number
in
24, Jack
up
Fote.
front. That's Jack Fote, led the team in goals last season, and Logan Petton originally played at D1 level with University of Oakland and transferred over 2 years ago. So now, two John Carroll men up front, hoping to link up as they did during the collegiate season in the fall. As Hancock's pass intercepted, but he wins it back. And that's that work ethic you love to see from the Mount Union player. Now a potential counterattack. Petton with his first touches on the ball. Trying a cross off the wrong part of the boot. Almost catching Yodak napping at the front post, but made a save without any real troubles.
Yeah, when you need some speed, need some pace out there on the wing, smart to put Penton in because everything he does, he's not going to stand on the ball and slow the pace down. Penton wants to go, go, go every time he touches that ball. So probably smart to get him in. It's going to help as he's trying to make those runs through on the counter.
Hancock plays Penton through. His shot is in, but he's called offsides.
That one easy enough. Made his run a little bit early, and the pass was delayed. If that pass was on time and hit Penton first time, he'd be in. Cleveland would be up 2-1. Delayed getting that head up and finding Penton, and that's just where it wasn't timed up just right. Penton easily a couple steps offsides.
Yeah, but already those fresh legs showing to be hopefully paramount in a potential Cleveland SC win. And looking for a dangerous play, but Madze comes away with it. Played down the line, that's Demereau. Risco taking him on mano a mano. It's played back. Akil. Back to Demereau. Hamoud flicking it on. Oh, what a pass! Just missing goal, but he's called offsides by the linesman anyway. But, I mean, that's a fantastic pass, knowing exactly where his teammate is. But unfortunately, the run timed just not enough.
Yeah, not even fully like a back heel there. As the studs on the bottom of the cleat just rolled that one back behind a no-look there and found a teammate who was just offsides, and that one, regardless, wouldn't have been a goal. Of course, ball sliding just wide of the post. So, but a nice opportunity there for Carpathia. But you mentioned it, the subs for Cleveland on the other end. Add a little bit of pace, add another dimension. The idea is there, the thinking's there. I think this game's going to heat up a little bit here, John Luca, in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, let's hope so. As has been an exciting half so far in the 68th minute of action, still tied 1-1. With a goal from Ryan Williams. And I want to say maybe 32nd, 33rd minute. And right before the half, Julian Pellegrini equalizing for Cleveland SC. Risco winning the ball, plays it down the line, and again, another run just off. Pellegrini's got to time that better. Just killing off that momentum that Cleveland had going forward.
Pellegrini's done that multiple times. Not watching that line. Now, he had the one run that he timed up beautifully that resulted in the goal, but you got to be willing to hold off on that run just slightly, slow it down a little bit, then turn on that burst as soon as that ball's played through. You had plenty of space, didn't need to go quite as fast as he was headed forward there.
Jansen accelerating forward. Ball's lost, but Chencha recovering it. He'll send it back to Pedro Alves. Great night he's had tonight. Played out to the opposite side. Lovely header brought down for Pellegrini. Pellegrini cutting inside. Losing his path to goal, and that goes straight to Akil. The communication out there, and Akil going for broke there. May not have been the smartest play, but Cleveland SC kind of bailed out with that shot.
Nightmare pass there for Pellegrini, and a nightmare in product there for Akil. He had a teammate streaking wide open down the field off to the left-hand side. Could have slotted that one through, maybe be in one-on-one against the goalkeeper, Pedro Alves. Instead, definitely settled from way out. Could have been a nice opportunity in transition for Carpathia. So
Hancock's ball through, couldn't find Pellegrini. Carpathia wanted that offsides call anyway, as of course Cleveland SC earned a throw. Nonetheless, Chanchar with it on the near side. Taking his space, looking for an option quickly here. Finds Penton in the middle, falls back to Penton. Logan Penton shot! Oh my goodness, what a strike! How about that? The magical substitute, the John Carroll player, nesting it perfectly into the top of the net. A cracking goal for the Vermilion native. Cleveland SC take their first lead of the night.
Logan Penton hammered that one home. Got a fortunate deflection as that one sat up nicely for him. Looked like he was going to maybe try to cross that one, slide across the box, and said, nope, I'm going to smash this one into the roof of the net near post. Right up in the top corner, top shelf where Grandma hides the cookie jar. And it's 2-1, Cleveland up, 20 minutes left to play here in regulation.
If we had the technology for a camera in that top corner, it would have been smashed. And Penton never short of power on his shots. I mean, calling the John Carroll the OAC championship against Wilmington this season, Penton had kind of a similar goal. He cut inside on the left-hand side and smashed the ball off the post and in.
Cleveland SC goal.
A rocket boot.
Scored by number 13.
And Cleveland SC are up 2-1.
Logan Penton.
Now
Oh,
Penton, though, a little over antsy.
Yep,
And he's going to go in the books here.
His first foul of the game, I mean, that one could go either way, but given the momentum he had going into that challenge, I think it was more of how hard he went into the tackle rather than the tackle itself that creates that yellow card. But
yeah, that's just a silly challenge there from Penton. I know he's excited, juiced up by scoring that goal. Wanted to fly around the field and put in a tough challenge there, but again, launched into that one, came across, caught the attacker there from the side. And again, the official is continually going to the books right now when you make a little bit of a careless, reckless challenge. Even if it's not the worst thing ever, not afraid to go to the books. Again, that's kind of what you have to expect when you're Penton. If you're not going to time that challenge right, you have to expect you're going to go to the books there.
unless a goal kick here for Cleveland SC. 73rd minute, 2-1. I mean, what a turnaround. And Carpathia players are really starting to hear it from the Cleveland SC fans now. I mean, momentum-wise, cruise control right now for Cleveland SC, but they need to make sure that no poor mistakes are being made and no passes go directly to the other side. I mean, a tie game for Carpathia would really kill off anything that Cleveland SC has.
Yeah, and I think after the momentum swinging, going down a goal here to Cleveland, I think this is what Carpathia needed to get some fresh legs in there.
Ellis Jones was one to step off. Not sure who the other one was, but Doug Hayner checking in. Still looking for the number on the one checking in up front. That's number 22, Adnan Hussein, who was the second substitute.
Yeah, and Hussein coming in for Akil, and I think Akil's coming out, especially after his shot from way back. Probably the coaches wondering if he was starting to wear down. That's why he settled for that shot rather than turning and trying to attack in transition.
Gumlianski has a little bit on his plate to work with, but deals with it nicely to his former teammate Alves. And it's back out to Rumlianski. Out for a throw, this time in the favor of Carpathia FC. And I mean, Carpathia would hate to have a second loss to Cleveland SC on the season with this one, as of course their first game of the season was a 1-0 loss at the hands of this Cleveland team. So wouldn't be good for them, but on the bright side, they'd be able to kind of brush them under the rug after this one. A poor clearance again, and a shot straight into the loving arms of the Brazilian Alves.
Yeah, low driven in directly in the direction of Alves. Just had to get down to it and cover that one up. Easy save for the goalkeeper there, but you mentioned it, Carpathia in the 3rd spot, Great Lakes Conference, sitting on 6 points. Cleveland coming into this match sitting on 3 points in the 4th spot. So if you're Cleveland, of course, you win this one against Carpathia, and you're going to be able to tie them up there on the tables with 6 points apiece. So again, that'd just be a step in the right direction after you went on a little slide for the last 2 weeks.
Cross coming into the area. Rumlianski's clearance stays in bounds, and Alves will punch it out. Didn't want to get too ahead of himself and try and catch it.
Yeah, I think that's just one where he was trying to follow that ball in the air. Didn't know how close another player was coming to him. Again, if he knew he had all that space all that time, should have jumped up there and catch it. But in hindsight, again, not the biggest goalkeeper, can't always rise above everybody, so Alves just tried to get a hand on it, punched it out, played, now needs some help from his team.
Corner at the back post, the front post, oh man, and that's the man with no name, number 4, scary looking, just inches away from that back post. And Cleveland SC again surprisingly coming up unscathed off of a very promising looking set piece.
Just flicked that one on, it flashed inside the 6. Nobody running at the back post, able to clean that one up. Looked like it might sneak in. Thought it was possibly going to kiss off of the post, but up here it looked really close. And down there, by the reaction of Alves and some of the other guys, I think they were questioning whether that was headed in as well. Cleveland managed to get out of that unscathed. Still up 2-1.
Hussein trying to control this one on the far side. He's met with a cluster of Cleveland SC players. Demeraux cutting across and playing Doug Hayner, another set of fresh legs. Hayner's pass intercepted though. Pellegrini reading that one nicely. Trying to chop this one over top to Penton. It's brought down, it's left in open space. Sveko almost trying to hand it off to Penton, sending a ball through. Fote bringing it down. Jack Fote still on the ball. Squaring it across, what a save! Penton saved again! Hancock saved! Straight off the face, though.
That was a huge hit to the face of Urak there. Again, he is down. Again, made a great save, but he's really not moving much.
Oh, man.
And while Penton, when that sat up for him initially, probably should have tried to fire that one high, instead went low and put pace behind it. It sat up well for another shot opportunity, and Cleveland looked like they were going to make it 3-1, but I think the big concern right now is Urak in goal. Oh, he took that one straight between the eyes.
Fortunately, he's up. Definitely needs to be checked out, though. But, I mean, if this is the last thing he does tonight, he's leaving a hero, Cole, because a triple save in a position like that, absolutely unreal. And that's brilliant work from the goalkeeper. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, the pace on that shot, and great save with the face. Remind me of the old Scott Sterling videos there. Poor Urak, though, making, like I said, the great save, but took that one again. Hope that he is okay here. Clock continues to tick on as time continues to wind here again. We're definitely going to see some added time, some additional time here at the end once we actually hit 90 minutes up on the board. But big concern right now for Carpathia is your goalkeeper right now, who's still getting checked out. And, of course, see your substitute goalie over there getting warmed up. And my gut instinct here right now, and hate to speculate, but I think we're going to see a substitution here and the backup goalkeeper coming in just a moment.
Yeah, I mean, for his own sake with a strike like that. Oof. Took it like a champ, though. I mean, the fact that he's sitting up under his own power with a shot like that from that proximity. And
he's walking back towards the goal here right now.
In.
Yeah, and impressed by the toughness here, the goalkeeper. But I'm a little bit surprised by the trainer here letting him play on.
Nerves of steel on that keeper. I mean, is it the best decision? I don't know. It was very hard to tell what, if he was even conscious after that strike. But nonetheless, Cleveland SC on the corner kick. Floating in, falls down towards the penalty area. Shots blocked. Falls to Pellegrini, making the run towards the end line. And that one's going to be out of bounds. Carpathia will have the throw. Things getting a little chippy here as just 10 minutes remaining in this contest. An absolute thriller at DiSanto Field.
Yeah, the last, aside from the scary incident and the brief stoppage of play, things gotten intriguing here, at least from a Cleveland SC standpoint here the last couple of minutes. As you've seen Penton and some of the other substitutions, those guys on the field now upping the intensity, upping the pressure, and with the way they're playing right now, hard to imagine this is going to remain 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fascinating final 10 minutes for both sides. I believe that's Nick Felician on the end line looking to check back in. Sveko getting a little fancy, but no use as that pass is misplaced. Ball fell into kind of purgatory for a moment there, but nonetheless, Cleveland SC picking up the crumbs. That one just getting behind Penton. Matze again. Squaring it across. Mohamed Hamoud trying to chop this one over top. Sveko grazing that one, but it falls to Hussein. Great turn by Hussein as he enters the 18, and Sveko getting involved, drawing a corner now for the visitors.
Hussein baited Sveko the whole way there and just dropped that shoulder and was able to turn and get by him, and now we have the corner upcoming. But yeah, no, we've actually seen the big forwards for Carpathia a couple times have some clever, nifty turns, despite being some of the bigger guys out there on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really, really impressive to see. Hussein, really selling that one with his torso and made the proper turn. And drawing a chance that could potentially lead Carpathia level.
Nick Felician.
Felician coming in. I think that was Pellegrini coming out. He put in a very solid shift tonight. Corner comes in towards the back post and it's headed away. Ball sent back into the middle. Headed up and just to the top netting by Luke Morel.
Yeah, and Pellegrini did put in a nice shift, but I do think that is definitely the right move for Cleveland's coaching staff. Pellegrini's been up and down the field a lot. Again, had that one bad turnover as maybe the legs are wearing down. You have to not make mental mistakes as you get more and more tired, and Pellegrini was probably fortunate about 10 minutes ago or so when he played that long pass back and it was stolen away, and Carpathia didn't do anything in transition, settled for a long shot. Now we'll see what Felician can do as he's out there on the wing and get some immediate action right now.
He's down the line. Fote heads it on, but out of bounds. But yeah, like you were saying, Nick Felician playing in Notre Dame College for a majority of his career, finished his grad here at John Carroll. So 3 John Carroll subs tonight. But with that, I mean, he brings, when he's in his element, when he has that confidence, he brings such an awesome flair to any part of the pitch.
Of course, John Luca over here for everybody watching and listening. John Luca currently goes to John Carroll. He's over here wearing his John Carroll Blue Streak soccer shirt here at the moment next to me.
Yeah, definitely a conflict of instinct with a Baldwin Wallace graduate to my left. But
yeah, absolutely. No, I will happily sit down here, chat some soccer with you, enjoy some Cleveland SC soccer. Anytime. We will cross the divide of the strong rivalry between the Yellow Jackets and the Blue Streaks.
Absolutely. Make amends as Matze on the ball. Trying to loft him with some nice curve on it. I think, yep, Demoreau keeps it in. Impressively enough. Looked a bit hopeless for a moment. Ball sent through. And that shot deflected out of bounds for another corner for the visitors. Carpathia are not going down easy, Cole.
No, they're not, and they're certainly getting some more of these chances, and they have bigger bodies in there. We've seen Chanchar and some of the experienced veterans for Cleveland try to get into the body and like alter the opportunities up in the air for Carpathia. But that being said, still most of these headers have actually been won by Carpathia. Here with the left-footed in-swinger, I would see about trying to drop this right on the head of Alves and crash in right in front of the goal box there.
See what Carpathia can work with. Ball sent in. Oh, goes for broke on that bicycle kick. And that one booted away. No nonsense defending from Cleveland SC there. We are really entering crunch time. Minute 86. Fastly approaching. Ball comes down, and Alves dealing with that one nicely despite Ruben's massive frame.
Yeah, it's a little bit early for Alves to dive on the ball like that and kill some time, because we're going to see some additional minutes here because of the incident a few moments ago with the goalkeeper on the other end. So 5 minutes of regulation, I would say, if they honor the actual time that has been spent or wasted, at least in this half, we at least need to see probably about 4 minutes. Of course, here in the NPSL, not having the board go up, sometimes you see the officials call it a little bit short, so we'll see if we actually get a full 4 minutes or beyond.
Thrown in on the far side. Cleveland SC maybe looking to ice this game for good, excuse me. Ball's brought down by Vatney. Played through, and a lovely sliding challenge. Cleveland SC wanted that one to be their throw. But it's thrown into Hussein, trying to maintain possession. Multiple Cleveland SC players trying to get their hands dirty, but nothing comes of it. Hayner chopping a long ball. That one back to Hussein. Carpathia moving the ball around nicely here. Finding open teammates, but definitely need to be a little bit more productive. Have a sense of urgency moving towards goal. And they may have it here. That cross blocked. Still in play.
Yeah, some fortunate bounces right now, but no real venom, no end product yet for Carpathia.
Senzanik bounces off Sveko, and it's going to be quite the argument to see whose ball this is going to be, and they're going to call it a corner. The officials have made that call correctly in my eyes, but Carpathia tireless. I mean, not counting, but maybe fifth corner or so of the second half alone.
Yeah, they've had quite a few, at least 3 here just in the last 10 minutes or so.
Oh, they're going to vouch to play this one. Oh, more pandemonium in the box. Couldn't even tell.
Off the line again, yeah.
Oof. Vision skewed and conflicts rise, but Cleveland SC holding their own, making sure to bend but not break coming out of the back, and fortunately not able to track that one down as it trickles out of bounds. Carpathia with another throw. Hayner on it. Matze playing it out wide. Carpathia just looking for a long ball, for a dagger perhaps, and that one floating over the head of everybody. Out for a goal kick for Pedro Alves.
Yeah, sailed a little long there on that ball delivered into the box. Landed about 2 or 3 yards beyond the in line there, and Alves was able to let it go, and now an opportunity to drain some clock here right now. Gonna switch all the way to the other side before getting this set, and walking that tightrope as the official, certainly like, come on, let's get this back into play, but also give him a couple extra seconds to drain.
Brought down for 50-50 there, but it's won nicely by Hamoud, despite being one of the shorter guys on the pitch tonight, really showing the most heart. A lot of great physical plays for him. As a substitution now for Cleveland SC, I think that's Hancock stepping off. Looks like they're going to add some defensive support here. I believe that's Bollinger that checked in.
Correct. Bollinger in there in the middle. We haven't seen Soljevic. We haven't seen Manfoot here this evening. We might not see those guys here with just a couple minutes remaining.
And Manfoot and Asuljevic are the only two remaining. And Cleveland SC will get the throw. Countering the disgust of Carpathia, really thought they had that one. Sveko. Throw this one down the line. Header's won, though, by Hayner. Vatney. Carpathia trying to move the ball towards some space here. Cleveland SC congesting their defensive third, just trying to come away with a victory tonight. Lovely give and go. Great tackle on the far side, and Hamoud's boot leaves that one in bounds. But Fote losing it. Oh, and that shot really going for broke there. Alex Demereau, but it's out for a goal kick.
Yeah, leaning back the whole way, Demereau, and that one sailing out, and not sure what Alves is doing here right now. Looked like he was almost stretching there
stretch.
In the box as Carpathia brings it over to him to get this one back in play.
The officials keep the official time on the field.
And Sveko pushed off the ball a little bit there by Vatney. And now we're in stoppage time. This is entirely in the hands of the head official, Stephen Milhone, tonight. And Chanchar will switch the field, trying to release as much pressure as possible for Cleveland SC to continue moving the ball around and finish this game with a victory. Move on to 500 in the season. A lovely layoff, though.
Just take it to the corner right now.
Yeah, let's see
Drain
what
some
Felicia's
clock.
thinking here. Yeah, it's exactly what he's doing. Playing it smart. Still in bounds. Still in bounds.
Looks like he might win a corner. And they give the goal kick instead. It was close, though.
Yeah, very close, but again, that's precious time off of the clock for Carpathia to work with.
And Carpathia makes a quick substitution as Demereau goes to the bench.
Put in a pretty solid shift tonight, creating a lot of threats on the attacking end for Cleveland SC to handle. Of course, he was definitely one of their ones to watch, scoring 2 of the 6 goals they've scored this season. 2 other ones being scored by Mohamed Hamoud. There's another throw. This one going a bit longer. Falls to Rumliansky. Be cleared out, but unfortunately right back to Reese Still. Trying to lay it off. I believe that's Michael Teller who's checked in, number 16. Unless on the wing, Carpathia looking for another chance here. That one headed at the center of the box. Off a deflection and another corner for the men in blue. Just stacking up these set pieces.
Yeah, and this might be the last quality chance here for Carpathia, so have to make the most of this.
Sending this one in towards the far post. Theatrics in the center, still up for grabs. Over the head, brought down at the edge of the 18. Hamoud tries a low shot, it's flicked on nicely, but Alves jumps onto it.
Pedro Alves.
An incredible match for him, and yeah, Milhone's going to tell him to get up. Just going to let that music tell the story here. But yeah, Alves has had a very good night tonight.
Woo! Woo!
And again, more bodies dropping in the center of the field. Hamoud trying to play a ball over the top, trying to find Adnan Hussein, who brings it down. Hussein cutting across, playing it behind a group of defenders, and they're offsides anyway.
Yeah, now Alves is down here again.
I'm not sure if he's stepped on him or if
and I think these center officials had about enough of Alves in going down and draining time off the clock here.
Yeah, it was hard to warrant that one. Of course, he had the save. The AR on the sideline probably told nothing really happened there, and now Alves will send this one back into circulation. Really milking it here. Oh, what that substitution is.
Yeah, substitution for Cleveland as Antonio Manfoot checks in, and the fans loving this as Antonio Manfoot hasn't really been with the team here too much in quite a long time, but
Number 3,
a guy who, a futsal player, really a futsal legend.
An international futsal player, yeah.
And spent time with Cleveland SC, a big part of that team that went to the Final Four of the NPSL down in Florida just a few years back.
Has also played across a few other NPSL teams, one in Syracuse, just a few along the East Coast, but a yellow card was given, and to one of the Carpathia players, probably something he'd said after that foul call. The final whistle blows, and Cleveland SC come away with a huge victory, 2-1, courtesy of the game-winning goal from Logan Penton.
Yeah, and that's huge for Cleveland. They get 3 points, much needed in the losing streak. Been 2 hard-fought battles against Carpathia, opening the season with that 1-0 victory, and now winning 2-1 after, like I mentioned, the 2-1 defeat. So Cleveland need to get back on the right track. This is exactly what they needed tonight. They were able to do so at Case Western, and of course, next time they're at home, they'll be back at George Finney Stadium in Berea.
Absolutely. So Cleveland SC will move to 2 wins and 2 losses on the season, 6 points, notching that goal differential back up to even with 5 scored, 5 conceded. Their next game will be away at Akron City FC, 7 p.m. Carpathia have it a little rougher than Cleveland SC as they move to 2 wins and 2 losses alike, but their next game will be on the 4th, 2 days from today, against Steel City FC away at 3 p.m. So both of these teams have a lot to think about going into their next match, Cole.
Yeah, that they do, and just this is going to be a fun night for the Cleveland supporters. See the smoke bombs and the flares going off here right now down below us in these stands, and Cleveland gets to live it up, celebrate it now, but back to business for their next matchup, as you mentioned. I also want to give a shout out here again as we got to call this one here at Case Western Reserve University. Want to thank them for letting Cleveland SC come out and use the stadium here as their home field tonight here at DiSanto Field. Of course, like I mentioned, for any of the visitors out there who want to come to a Cleveland SC game at some point, a home game again, the rest of the season going to be at George Finney Stadium there in Berea, the campus of Baldwin-Wallace University. But got a little bit of a different atmosphere, a different feel here tonight for this one, and the result was a positive one.
A really good performance from them tonight overall. And as you know, we always talk about with a league like the NPSL, a lot of turnaround, so it's hard to get a team to play as a unit, but tonight they could not have played more as a unit. You know, some mistakes here and there, but overall, the chemistry was really on point tonight. A well-earned victory for Vladimir San's boys.
Yeah, that was the case, especially when those substitutions happened. We saw around the 70th minute. The pace upped, the intensity upped. There was a stretch there where Cleveland had some really good attacks. They were able to find the goal. Looked like they might come away with a 3rd goal, but that's exactly what they needed. And maybe that's the stride that they needed to hit to finally get into a groove, and they can continue it into future matches throughout the rest of this regular season, John Luca.
Yeah, and they're going to be greatly tested, of course, and hard to find some set rivalries, but Akron City FC and Cleveland SC fans always seem to be butting heads during the season in one way or another. You know, just some friendly banter, but still, I think it's the closest thing to a rivalry that this team has, so they're really going to have to prove themselves away from home.
Might be a new rivalry, but it's still a rivalry nonetheless. Not too much distance separating those two teams between Akron and Cleveland, so going to be a fun one this upcoming match.
Absolutely, and like we said, thank you all so much for tuning in, whether you're on 11, FIFA Plus, YouTube, what have you, to this presentation of NPSL Soccer in Cleveland SC. I want to thank everybody on the production team and in the booth in one way or another helping out tonight to make it a successful game day. And of course, Cole by my side. Thank you for letting me kind of man the ship on play-by-play tonight. It was my first game for Cleveland SC. If you couldn't tell in my voice, I was pretty nervous throughout. But with that...
well, it was a pleasure to have you, John Luca. Absolutely loved having you here on the broadcast. And, of course, everybody out there, you're going to hear John Luca at least another time throughout this season. Of course, you're going to hear plenty of me and Vince McKee as well. But, John Luca, you did a great job tonight.
Thank you.
Good game to call. Again, thanks for calling this one tonight.
Of course. Yeah, much appreciated, Cole. And, yeah, for everybody tuning in,